What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Brandon Nimmo, he had 12 RBIs on the season before coming into his last game against the Nationals. He almost matched his RBI total in one game. Cleveland, you guys know that's my squad. They have been getting embarrassed lately. They're getting put on notice, and they might have to have a lot of look-in-the-mirror conversations with some of their former top prospects because these guys are literally stinking it up. We have more prospect talk. Things cannot get much worse for this former super prospect. We'll catch up with this guy a little bit later because we got to recap how he's lost, no joke, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And the Orioles, they might be ruining their best start by a starting pitcher all year. The Yankees, they're storming back and they are peppering the Orioles bullpen. So again, we'll talk about all of that and more in today's recap. And guys, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. And one more thing super quick, I'm going to be live later today watching the Guardians game, the Yankees game, the Cubs game. You might be wondering, Fuzzy, how are you going to do that? Well, Playback partnered with Major League Baseball to give us a chance to watch MLB games live with viewers and friends. And not only that, but you can make money while watching baseball with your friends. They have paid subscriptions. They have something called Power Chats, which is like a super chat. You can get paid to watch baseball. I know it sounds way too good to be true. You probably think I'm lying, but it's as real as it gets, and I had a ton of fun on my first stream, so make sure you guys check out Playback. You can download it with the link in the description, the pinned comment. It's the real deal. Come watch baseball and get paid to do it. All right, let's get back to the recap. Someone in the Mets game had 9 RBIs all by himself, but before we show that, the Marlins, they put up a crazy fight down in LA. It was tied after 9. We needed extra innings to settle it. The first half of this game was all Dodgers. Ohtani, he went to right for a leadoff base hit, and now he's off. He has 7 stolen bases. He's now in scoring position after Mookie Betts moved him over on a sac fly. Freddie, he sliced one the other way, so it's already 1-0 Dodgers. Edward Cabrera had a shutout second, but he can't say the same about the third. Again, it was only a 1-run frame though. Mookie, he knocks in Max Muncy, and Edward kept it in check again. Same with this next swing. It's 1 run, but that was it. Miguel Rojas finally did something. He doubled in the Player of the Week, Andy Pages. All things considered, 3 runs is not too bad. Oh Lord, Teoscar, he has 9 home runs now. He's leading the team by far with 27 RBIs. He's on pace for 160 runs batted in. Remember what I said though, the Marlins put up a fight. Eric Wagaman, he's been a really nice find for the Marlins. He drove in their first run, then Agustin Ramirez knocked Dustin May out the game. Anthony Bande's in. He walked the pinch hitter Connor Norby. We have another pinch hitter. Miami is pushing all the buttons trying to get one to work. And this one worked. Dane Myers with the pinch hit grand slam. He's been up and down through the minors and the big leagues. He's a former top prospect. I'm just happy that he finally connected on probably his biggest swing of his career. Oh, wow, this was sick. Miami, they turned a slick double play to end the 6th, and the bullpens kept everything in check from the 7th to the 9th. So to extras we go. Jesus Sanchez, he put the fish on top with a double. And well, it didn't mean much because Tommy tanks. He didn't tank anything, but he does walk it off. He squeaked one into the shallow right field for the W. The Dodgers have won 3 games in a row. I think they're the 3rd or 4th team in baseball to 19 wins. Staying with 19, the Mets have 19 W's, and they scored 19 runs in this game. Brandon Nimmo, he wears number 9, which is important because he had that many RBIs in this game. It all started with Francisco Alvarez and that RBI 2-bagger. Alex Call, he just couldn't get there. Jeff, he found his power stroke in the second half of last year. He jumped on the first pitch, that fastball, for his first home run of the year. Nimmo, he's up with 2 on. He's got a 2-0 count, and he gave himself the green light. He uncorked on a pitch at his elbows for a towering 3-run home run, his 5th long ball. Pete Alonso, he has 27 RBIs. It's his turn to drive in a run. Brandon Nimmo's up again with multiple base runners on, and he slammed it. No, actually, 8 grand slam, back-to-back games with the grand slam. So Nimmo has 2 home runs and 7 RBIs, but wait, another bases loaded chance, and he just tied a Mets record. 9 RBIs, only Carlos Delgado has ever done that in a Mets uniform. Brandon Nimmo, his first 27 games of the season, had 4 home runs and 12 RBIs. In this one game, he had 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Now, I'll show these home runs for my Nationals fans. James Wood went yard, Nathaniel Lowe went yard. Okay, you got it, cool. Here's how New York got to 19. Mark Vientos, he socked a 3-run home run off of Ahmed Rosario. Vientos is hitting over 350 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs over the last week or so. No one's going to remember this come contract talk time. Like, you pad those stats anytime that you can get. The Mets are the first team in baseball to 20 W's. Take a good look at this next clip because you'll probably never see Trent Grisham do this ever again. Don't forget that Trent is a 2-time Gold Glover. He had 17 outs above average a few years ago. He can still get it, but Ramon, I guess he hit it a little bit bit too hard that it was almost impossible to get a read off it. Ryan O'Hearn, he read that sweeper out the hand perfectly. It's 4-0 Baltimore. And by the way, we called out Adley. Adley got on base twice. Tomoyuki Sugano pitched the game of his life, at least in terms of like being in the big leagues. He was crazy out in Japan. He had his best start in large part because Cedric Mullins robbed Paul Goldschmidt of a home run. And this has to be the breakout game for the Orioles, right? I mean, look at Sugano go. 9 strikeouts total his first 5 starts. He racked up 8 in 5 innings against the Yankees. The splitter ate the Yankees alive. Judgy, okay, no biggie. It's still a 4-1 ball game after he legged out an RBI fielder's choice. Okay, now it's getting a wee bit stressful. Volpe turned in a pretty double. He took 97 the other way. That's what Volpe needs to keep on doing. Wells, the lefty-lefty RBI double. Soto, he's going to really have to dig deep talking about Gregory Soto. He got Jason to swing, and he got really lucky on this next pitch. He left a meatball slider to Oswaldo, who rolled over. Devin, he's out for the 8th. Remember, he got removed from the closing role. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning. Good for him. Felix versus Judge. The Mountain versus the Captain. This matchup alone made going to this game worth it. What was that pitch? Good Lord. Orioles fans, they're juiced up, and Felix, he was juiced up as well. He reared back to strike out Bellinger with 98 upstairs. He has 4 saves on the year. So the Orioles, they win the first of 13 games between these two teams. It's going to be a fun season series. The Twins are facing off for their first of 13 games against the Guardians, and the Twins, they're reeling just like the Orioles, so this is their chance to remind people that they're not going anywhere. And boy, did they remind the rest of the league. Edward Julian, he banged out the first pitch of the game, his second of the season. Minnesota, they kept feasting on Gavin Williams, who is probably the weirdest starting pitcher I've ever seen. He's 6'6", throws a zillion. He has a wicked curveball, but he gets lit up almost every other start. Jeffers had an RBI double. Not a double for Buxton, but this is a 2-run Q shot. It's off the end of the bat, so there was some crazy spin. The newly acquired Jonah Bride had 3 base hits in this one. His third one drove in Minnesota's 5th run. Now it's 6. Harrison Bader, he's stinging baseballs. That's to right field. And, oh, cool. So, like, apparently Minnesota's goal was to embarrass their division rival, and they achieved that goal as Ty France. He hit one to straightaway center. That was the wrong shift on that swing. Yeah, 2 more score. Switch hitter Mickey Gasper had a few base hits, 1 from each side of the dish. He plays France. And this now is back-to-back games that Cleveland has deployed a position player to finish out a game. Jeffers, he appreciated the early Christmas gift. He barreled a long 2-run pimp job. Rocchio's weak groundout ended it. The Twins have won 4 games in a row. The Guardians have lost 3 games in a row, and we got to talk about some difficult decisions that the Guardians might have to make about some of their former top prospects and whether or not they're going to pan out as future players for this team. Gavin Williams has all the stuff in the world to be an elite starting pitcher, but he has a 5 ERA his last 22 starts. Opposing hitters are crushing his fastball. Maybe he has to get sent down. Brian Rocchio swings a wet noodle for a bat. He has 0 home runs this year. He's hitting 189 with 2 extra base hits his last 20 games. Bo Naylor, his defense is pretty good, but he's hitting 177 this year, and this is after hitting 201 last season. Like, I know it's early, and I know these guys are on the younger side, but it's getting a little bit frustrating to watch games literally be thrown away because of hope. That's literally it. We're crossing our fingers and hoping that they're going to pan out. That's actually a good transition because Major League Baseball might officially be losing hope in the former mega prospect Jarred Kelenic. Now, context, Kelenic, he was the 6th pick overall in 2018, and at 19 years old, he hit .291 with 31 doubles, 23 home runs, 20 stolen bases, so some serious stats. He was just demoted to AAA. So let's talk about why he cost himself millions of dollars. So we know that there wasn't a minor league season in 2020 after he went crazy at 19 years old. So fast forwarding to 2021, the Mariners came to him with a contract extension. So they offered Kelenic a 6-year extension for, quote, substantial money. And again, this was before the 2021 season, and they had options to make that contract get even bigger. Jarred decided to, quote, bet on himself, and he turned it down, citing that he would be worth significantly more because, again, he was betting on himself. He really thought in his heart that he was going to put up monster stats. Well, 4 years later, again, he just got sent down to AAA after hitting 167 as a platoon bat. He only has 6 at-bats versus lefties this year. 4 of those at-bats resulted in strikeouts, and for his career, he's now hitting .211 with a 0.2 wins above replacement in 406 games. So is Jarred Kelenic now considered a bust, or is he still young enough? He's 25 years old. Can he pull a Byron Buxton? Don't forget Buxton. He hit .230 with a paltry 80 OPS plus his first 300 games in the big leagues, but the difference is he was extremely fast and he played platinum defense. But yeah, unfortunately, Kelenic, he bet on himself and lost. he easily lost $20-30+ million. Alex Verdugo actually was the guy that swiped most of Jarred Kelenic's playing time, and he stayed hot in this game. Hold on, Hunter Goodman, he wanted some shine in today's recap. I think that's 5 home runs. The 25-year-old catcher put up crazy power stats. I could not believe my eyes. Hunter Goodman had back-to-back 30-double, 30 home run, 100 RBI seasons in 22 and 2023. And after that swing, though, I guess you can say things got a little bit rocky. Verdugo, he somehow found a hole after swinging a pitch way up and away. He's hitting .350 with an almost 400 on base his first 9 games with the Braves. Atlanta, they tied it with an Ozuna sac fly to deep right. Doogie scores, and now you get to see Eli White fly. That is a swinging bunt. And moments later, we have another swinging bunt. Nick Allen and Eli White combined for maybe 20 feet worth of base hits. That's baseball. Oh no, do not let Michael Harris get hot. He can go on those rare white hot streaks. That's how good he is. His 2-run base knock steals the lead, and Eli White, he kept stealing the momentum. He robs Mickey Moniak with a leaping grab over in right field. Sean Murphy, he ripped an RBI single. Raisel Iglesias put a lid on this one for another save. The Braves, they're now 13-15 after winning 8 of their last 10. The Rockies are now unsurprisingly on a 7-game losing streak. Almost 20,000 people showed up, so the owner, he might never change. He's just going to keep on relying on the fact that Coors Field is beautiful. He's going to line his pockets full of money and completely ignore the dumpster fire garbage that is his on-field product. The first 7 runs of this Tigers and Astros contest were all scored via the long ball. Kerry Carpenter, he showed exactly why they call him Kerry Bonds, Scary Kerry. How did he get this ball to leave? That's his 6th home run. Riley Green, maybe. I don't know if it has the... Okay, it does. That roof scraper barely made it out. I thought that it was going to bite back into the field of play. Christian Walker, he's kind of sick of seeing the other team go to the Crawford boxes, so he went over them. He almost went to the train tracks, skipping to the 6th. Leadoff hitter Jeremy Pena got on for Jose Altuve, who is usually leadoff hitter, but he asked for this change. He wants to hit second, so he doesn't have to keep on sprinting into the dugout from left field. He wants a few extra seconds to kind of collect his thoughts, and who knows, maybe this is a new 1-2 punch for the ages. Altuve with Houston's 2nd home run to that community leader sign up there in left field. The Astros are now up a run. Mauricio Duboni's up in the 7th. There's 2 ducks on a pond, and they're both going to score. Cam Smith, as a rookie, I mean, he's got some crazy good instincts. That's an awesome read. He scores from second base. Yordan Alvarez, he leads the team with 17 RBIs. He singled in Jeremy Pena, who got on again. Riley again. If Riley Green ever becomes a free agent, Houston better be on his radar because he was built for the Crawford boxes. Then we had vintage Javier Baez to end this game. He helps Josh Hader get his 8th save of the year. So the Astros have won 2 games in a row, while the A's, they're looking for 2 W's in a row versus the Rangers. I'll spoil it. They took it because of this one swing. I'm not joking. One swing was it. Patrick Corbin was so close to going 5 shutout. That's just a crazy swing from Tyler. He has quick hands, so he can dunk it down the line where no one could get to it. RBIs 23 and 24, by the way. Jonah Heim, he did break through, but again, 2 was all that JP Sears and the A's bullpen needed. As Mitch Spence, he popped up Adolis with the bases loaded. Adolis, he's struggling again. He's hitting 202, and this is after hitting 224 with the sub 100 OPS plus last year. It seems like that 10% walk rate back in 2023 was an outlier, but at least he can do this every so often. He ran a mile to track down a slicer. The defense was also terrible last year, but he's back on track to start 2025. Mason Miller, he called game with his 9th save of the year. The A's are now over 500. They're 15-14. 4 of those W's have come in JP Sears starts. He almost went 6 innings in this one with 7 strikeouts, no walks. He came over in that Frankie Montas trade from the Yankees a few years ago. He's finally putting hitters away with the sweeper. He's basically ditched the sinker. He has a 2.9 ERA this year, so that combination is working. Ooh, we have a little back and forth game coming up. Lars Nootbaar and Nolan Arenado, they both hit some doubles. I thought Nolan's honestly was hit 987 feet. The second it left his bat, I said, that's gone. Well, Gavin Lux, he just couldn't even see it, and even the broadcaster thought that it left. He's like, that ball, he had to apologize for getting it wrong. Nolan Arenado then saved his pitcher with a nifty little spin throw to nab Austin Hayes. No one's gonna get this one though. Jose Trevino, he blasted off some former Platinum Glover showing off with the stick. Arenado's 1-1, Trevino 1-1 as well with the Yankees. That's his 2nd home run, by the way, talking about Trevino. TJ Friedl, he got a late read, but he makes up for it. He robs Nolan Gorman. Gavin Lux, he already had a base hit in this game, so he's now 2 for 2. He has a 12-game hitting streak, and I said this yesterday, but I guess I gotta say it again. He and Noelvi Marte can knock it out. Marte got on base another 3 times with this. Wait, Lux is flying around. He scores some. Wait, Marte is off for third base. It's actually a triple. That's his first career 3-bagger. Gavin then made it a 3-hit game. He's batting 5-12. Let me repeat that. 5-12 his last 12 games. He has 9 RBIs over those 12. Emil Pagan, he's been rock solid this year. A 7-pitch, 9-inning. He has 8 saves. Cincinnati is on fire. They've won 5 games in a row. The offense is cooking, and they finally got a quality start from Nick Martinez. He goes 6 innings. He allowed just that first run in the very first inning, and he only needed 76 pitches to go with those 6. Before we end today's recap, because those were the only games from yesterday, I want to give an update on the stat leaders across baseball. Aaron Judge, he is leading the pack with a 4.05 batting average. In terms of home runs, we have 2 guys, Eugenio Suarez and Cal Raleigh. They're both tied at 10 home runs. Then you have a couple guys like Trout, Teoscar, Corbin with 9. RBIs, we have Wilmer Flores and Aaron Judge both tied at 28. Then again, Teoscar is in that mix. Pete Alonso, Kyle Tucker. Aaron Judge is leading everyone by far in base hits. He has 45. Goldie's actually second with 39. We have stolen bases. We have 2 guys tied at 12. O'Neal Cruz and Pete Crow Armstrong, they both have 12. Let's talk about a few pitchers, shall we? Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he leads everyone with a 1.06 ERA. Then you have Tyler Mahle and Nick Pivetta just behind him, and Hunter Brown, as well as Max Fried. Saves, Andres Munoz and Robert Suarez. Suarez, he slowed down a little bit because the Padres keep on losing. They're both at 10. Strikeouts, you have Mackenzie Gore with 53 strikeouts, and then right behind him, Zach Wheeler. And then if you guys want a quick peek at the standings across baseball, remember the Mets, they won their 20th game, the first team in baseball to do that, but that's going to do it for today's recap. Before you guys leave, another quick reminder to join my playback stream. Again, we can watch baseball together. It's a lot of fun, so playback.tv/fuzzy. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the web gems.
This one's going to get into the glove of Max Schumann, diving for the stop.
Here in the second. Oh, what a play by Chisholm. And he gets him.
It's always top half of the league. This is Riley Green. He dives for